Anta namostute tapta kanchana gaurangi radhe vrindavaneshwari vrishabhanu sute devi pranamami hari priye namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayine Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Janmadhyasya yato anvayaditaratas charthe subhigyeswarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye moyanti yat surayah Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakvakam satyam param dhimahi narayanam namaskritya naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jaya mudirayet Swasti astu vishvasya khala prasidatam Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mitho dhiya Manasya bhadram bhajatada Aveshyatam no matirapya hetuki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 68, verse number 46. So we read how Balram went to Hastinapur to talk to the Kauravas to release Samba, who has been captured by the Kauravas because Samba kidnapped Lakshmana, Duryodhana's daughter. So he sent Uddhava as a messenger because he stayed outside the city. And then the Kauravas came to meet him. They talked nicely. But when Balram told that he has come here on behalf of King Ugrasena and that they should release Samba, that is the order. So when Kauravas, they became very agitated and left and spoke very insulting words to Balram and to all the Yadavas. So when they left, then Balram reacted. When they were speaking, he did not say anything. He listened peacefully, but after they left, then he came up with his plan to show them who he is and give the reaction to their statements. So he went and he uprooted the city and pulled it to plunge inside the Ganga river so that everyone can cool in the heat, because Ganga water is very cool coming from the Himalayas. So then the Kauravas, they came to their senses because their temperature went down, their head became cool, and the water fell. And then they realized their mistake, that out of heat we spoke harsh words. Those are not good. So then they started praising Balram. So they're continuing. Tvamev murdhnidam ananta leelaya bhumandalam bibharshi sahasra murdhan ante chaya svatmani ruddha vishwa sheshe dvitiya parishishyamana. So they said, O unlimited Lord, O one who has 1,000 heads, it is you only on whose head this Bhumandal is kept. So you are the upholder of the whole earth. And at the end, when it is time for dissolution, this universe goes inside you and only you remain, one without a second. That's why you are called Shesha. Shesha means one who remains. Comment on this. Sese swapishi shesh pariyanke. So sese swapishi means that you sleep on the shesha, means on the bed of Seshnag, the snake. Tralokye tvadanyasya tadanim avidyamanatvat. At that time in the three worlds there is no one else except you, because the whole material world is dissolved. Kopaste akhil shikshartham na dveshan na matsarat bibhrato bhagwan sattvam sthiti palana tatparaha. So now if someone thinks that Balram was also like anyone else, getting angry when he got insulted, what is the difference between him and ordinary people? He insults somebody, that person gets angry. So he was also angry like that. So he says, no, your anger is not because of that. Your anger is to educate us. It is not out of hatred, out of jealousy, but out of our good welfare, to do welfare to us. Because you are in Sattva-guna, you are Sat-Swarupa, so you don't become upset just because others insult you. You are engaged in Sthiti Palana Tatparaya, in maintenance, in managing the universe, and therefore it's also your duty to educate people, those who are going against the principles. So Sattva Palanarthakam. So you are Sat-Swarupa because that is necessary for maintaining, for nourishing. So Vishnu Shaktir hi Palani. So Vishnu is the Palaka, he is the maintainer, sustainer. Satuguna Midanim Bibhrata Tab Kopayam Ayam Akhilanam Shikshanarthameva. So because you uphold the Sattva-guna, therefore your anger is not out of envy or jealousy or hatred, but to educate us. Sometimes when people do not listen, if you tell them with love, then you have to get angry. Yashoda got angry at Krishna. So you tell someone to do something, and the children especially, then they don't do it. When the parents get angry, then they do it. So anger also has got special function, it's not useless. So therefore he did get angry. Kopaha kidrisha, what type of anger? Sthitahe shisht maryadaya palane tatparyavan. Because you want to make sure that people stay in their maryada, in their bounds, within the limits of dharma. So that is your intention. Yadayam kopah kritas-tadeva vayam shishtaha sampratya bhuma. Just the outcome of your anger can be seen right now. Because you got angry, so now we are disciplined. If we had not become angry, we will remain haughty, proud, insolent. So we came to our senses because of your anger. Purvam tu dushtas tvam pashyanto garvandha evasma. Before you got angry, we were not shishta, we were dushta, we were wicked, ill-behaved. And not seeing you who you are, you are blinded by our pride. And when you are blinded by your pride, then you don't see the reality. Nirvisarg pathe sambodhan padam. So, tatparas. If there is no visarga, sthiti, palan, tatpara, then it will be taken as an invocation. Otherwise, it's an adjective of Bhagavan. Namaste sarvabhutatman sarvashakti dharavyaya vishwakarman namastestu tvam vayam sharanam gataha. So he says, they are saying that, oh, immanent being of all living beings, let there be our obeisances to you. You are Sarva Shakti Dhara. You are the upholder of all potency, all energies come from you, including our energy. So although we were proud and we are saying that even Indra is enjoying because of us, that was only a proud statement. You are avyaya, imperishable. You are Vishwakarman. You are the creator of the Vishwa. We bow down to you again. Tvam vayam sharanam gata. And we take shelter of you. So they all surrender to him. Sharanagati. So when it comes to Sharanagati, then they use word gata. Sharanam gata. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Go. Go, not come. So here also Sharanam Gata, we have gone to your Sharana, not that we have come. Dushtan vo vadhishyami iti chet tatraha sarva shakti dhara. If you say that you will kill us because we are very wicked, then we say that you are Sarva Shakti Dhara. You are the upholder of all potency. Asmakam marne api palne api shakti dadhasi eva. Whether you keep us or you kill us, you have both type of power. Maro bhi rakho bhi, jo ichha tuhar. And avyaya, you are avyaya means you do not decay, you do not diminish. So asmakam jivne marne vatavna kimapi vyati. There is no loss for you if you kill us or you keep us. And there is no benefit also. Kincha he vishwakarman iti vishwam idam taveva karma karyam. And your Vishwakarma means this Vishwa, this universe is your product, it is your creation. You have created it. Jivi tumeva asman arhasi. What is the significance? He says it behooves you to let us live, not that you kill us because you are Vishwakarman. If you create something, you don't want to destroy that unnecessary. So this was the prayer of the Kauravas. Now Sukadeva Goswami speaks. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam prapannai samvignair vepamanaaya nair balaha prasadita suprasanne ma bhashtaiti abhyam dadau. In this way, when Kauravas has surrendered to Balram, and they were very disturbed in their minds, and they were Vepamana Ayanair. Their houses were shaken up. Vepamana means shaking, and Ayan means houses by Balram. So Balaha Prasadita, then Balram became pleased. Did not take him much to be happy, because he was not really angry that he wanted to actually destroy them, but since they were acted in a very wicked manner, he wanted to teach them a lesson. So he became pleased, Suprasanne. So after he became pleased, then he said, Ma bhashta iti abhyam dadu. He says, do not fear. And in this way he granted fearlessness to them. There is no commentary on this. There is. Vepamanam ayanam puram yesham tai. So they whose city was shook by Balram. So now Duryodhana, after Balram is pleased, so he married his daughter to Samba and he gave a big dowry, which is being described here, what all he gave. Duryodhana pari barham kunjaran shashti hayanan dadau cha dvadashatani ayutani turangaman. So Duryodhana, being happy and to make sure that his daughter is accepted and there is no problem later on, so he gave Dvadas Satani, 12,000 elephants. And these elephants, each one was 60 years old. 60-year-old elephant is considered as young. What is the lifespan of an elephant? 200 years? So anyway, generally when this is elephants, it's generally said 60 years old elephant is considered as good. And he gave 10,000 horses. So who is going to feed 12,000 elephants? So Kunjaran Dvadas Satani, 12,000 elephants. Turangamastu Dvadas Satani, 1200 and 12 10th Dvadas Yatani. Thought it was Dvadas Satani Ayutani. I thought it was 10,000. He says 12,000. So 12,000 horses, 1200 elephants. And Rathanam.
Oldest elephant recorded is 88 years.
88?
Yeah, the lifespan of elephant is some 60 years. So 60, 70 years.
So this is wrong. Maybe olden time they lived longer. Because I have seen this many times when it comes to giving charity, 60 years elephant is considered as good, like peak of its life. Sarathanam Shat Sahasrani Rokmanam Suryavarchasam Dasinam Niskakanthinam Sahasram Duhitri Vatsalaha. So Duryodhana, who was Duhitri Vatsala, who was very affectionate to his daughter, so he also gave 6,000 chariots, and each chariot has 4 horses, means 24,000 horses more. Already 12,000, 36,000 horses. Make arrangements to feed them. And the chariots were all decked with gold and brilliant like the sunlight. And then there were 1,000 maidservants who also went with her to assist her, doing her laundry, pressing her dress, etc. Like you need assistant. So 1,000. And all these maid servants were also dressed nicely. They all had golden locket in their neck. Niskakanthi. Niskakanthi naam. Niska means like a locket. Pendulum. Pratigriyatu tatsarvam bhagwan satvatarshapha sasuta sasnusha pragat sruhidbhiravinandita. So Bhagwan Balram, the best of the Sattvatas, he accepted all this, and then along with his son Sasuta, which means Samba, and Sasnusa and daughter-in-law, that is Lakshmana, he returned to Dwarka, where he was accorded a big welcome, Suhridbhir, by his friends. So here you see Samba is called his son. So this was quoted somewhere, I think by Jiva Goswami in Sandarbha, that Samba is actually not his son, but he is called as the son here. Tataha pravishta swapuram halayudaha sametya bandhun anurakta chetasaha sasansa sarvam yadupangavaanam madhye sabhayam kurushu svacheshtritam. So he entered his own city, the carrier of the plough, and once he arrived there, all the relatives, friends who had great affection for him, so he described to them what all happened, because everybody is anxious. What happened? So he explained in the assembly of King Ugrasena. They all assembled and he spoke that what did the Kurus do and what did I do. So this is what I did, and then the problem was solved. Adyapi cha puram hi etat suchayad rama vikramam samunnattam dakshinato gangayam anudrishyate. He says even today you can see this city, which is little raised on the south side, and from Ganga you can see that. So that is indicative of the valor of Balram, how powerful he was, that he was uprooting the whole city. So this is the end of 68th chapter. It is Śrīmad-Bhāgavate Mahapurane Paramhamsyam Samhitayam Vaisikyam Dasam Skandhe Hastinapur Karshan Rupam Sankarshan Vijayo Nam Shashtitamo Ashtashashtitamo Adhyaya. So this chapter is called The Victory of Balram. Okay, any question on this, Shailesh ji?
Babaji, I'd like to ask about the kidnapping of Lakshmana. How to see it from dharmic point of view?
Which point of view?
Because from dharma point of view, it doesn't seem to be kidnapping a girl just because you want to marry her doesn't seem to be very moral, religious.
From whose point of view?
It was said,
From whose dharma? Kshatriya dharma or non-Kshatriya dharma?
I don't know.
So from
Both, I
Kshat...
guess.
No, not both. That's the mistake.
Yeah.
So from Kshatriya dharma it is not considered. You know there are 8 types of marriages. So it is one of them. And for Kshatriyas this is considered as great.
You mean one type of marrying is by kidnapping and getting her married?
Kidnapping, not kidnapping as you are thinking. Kidnapping is an English word. But it was a ceremony where everybody has assembled to get married. It's like there's a competition, there's a 100-meter race, right? So in the 100-meter race you run. If you run, you get the medal, right? But somebody is so smart, he takes the medal and runs away. He says, why run? Why not run with the medal itself? So that is a Kshatriya. So it's not kidnapping as you are thinking that she is going somewhere and he just kidnaps like that. No, she was ready there to choose a husband, and he was also one of the, what you call, like you do dating these days, speed dating. So this is a speed dating competition. I mean, is it not a speed dating? Because so many people are there and within 1 hour she chooses one husband. What can be more speedy than that? Okay. In speed dating, how much they allow? 2 minutes? I don't know. She also looks at the person, they introduce, I'm so and so, I'm the king of this, son of this is my this. Then she moves on, 2 minutes, go to the next one. She likes, gives the garland, finish it. She doesn't like, go to next one. Speed dating. But it's not just dating, it's actually marriage, you know.
Babaji, this instance with dowry, in the modern context, generally they will quote few verses from the Manusmriti where there are mentions that if a person accepts cloth or if a person accepts other dravya from the girl side, he is the lowest of the sinners and such verses. So.
Yeah, it is given to the girl. It's called Stridhan.
Okay.
It's mentioned there in Manusmriti also. So that's why it says Duhitri Vatsala. Remember?
Oh, okay.
He gave to his daughter.
Okay. So, but then after marriage, I don't know how dharmic texts speak, how Dharma Shastra speak about it. Does the property of the wife then stay with the husband, or there is still jurisdiction?
Yeah, they're not separated, they become one. So it's common property. But still, she has the right.
Both have say on the property.
There's a rule about that.
And it's just a short question. So I guess if it's dharmic from Kshatriya point of view to kidnap in that way, so we could say that the Kurus, they were also only doing what a Kshatriya would do, which would be to defend the girl.
Yeah. Only thing is
so
that
everyone was right.
They were right, but they did not know who is Balram. There's a limit where you have to think that here comes the boss, So you can tell them that, okay, he made a mistake, fine, but... And as I said, that Balram also spoke like that. so that they know. If this would not happen, they will not know who is Balram. So then he said, next time don't mess around like this. Okay. So next chapter. (69) Shri Shuka Vacha. Shri Shukdev Goswami continues. Narakam nihatam shrutva tathodvaham cha yoshitam krishnene kene bhavinam tadridrikshu smanaradaha. So we read the story earlier that Krishna, he killed Narakasura, which is also called Bhaumasura. And then this Narakasura, he has captivated 16,000 girls and he wanted to marry them. So now all these 16,000 girls, they saw Krishna and they said, we want to marry you because nobody else is going to marry us. Because if a girl is taken away by one king, then no one wants to marry that girl again. So Krishna said, okay, I will marry you. So Krishna, he married. But the interesting thing, as will be said in the next sloka, is that he was one and he married 16,000 simultaneously. Not in one place, but only in one form. So this was amazing, and this incited curiosity of Narada also to see how Krishna is doing with 16,000 wives. Because Narada travels all over and he sees husband and wife all the time mostly fighting, having problem, right? So he thought, how is Krishna managing with 16,000 wives? Is he peaceful or is he having problem? So he was didrikshu. He was eager to see. So he comes there. So Vishwanath Chakravarti gives the summary of the chapter. Ekon sapti tame Krishna munim adidrishat swasya ekasyapi vapshe prakashan pratimandiram. In this chapter there is a description how the sage, he saw Krishna, or Krishna showed himself to the sage, that how he is one, but he is in every house. So he will see one Krishna in 16,000 houses. Then this is most astonishing. So that's why he came to see Didrikshu Abhut, became eager to see. And this is a very important sloka. Chitram bateta dekena vapsha yugpat prithak grihesu dvashta sahasram striya eka udavahat. Indeed, this is most astonishing. What is it? Ekena vapsha, that Krishna married in one body 16,000 queens. So what is surprising? They all can be together and he is one and he takes the marriage vow with all 16,000 together. So it can be done. He says Yugpat but Prithak Grihesu. He married 16,000 but in different houses. So what is the problem? That can also be done. You can go to one house and then you go to the next house and go to the next house and do it. He says no, Yugpat, same time. Same time in 16,000 houses. He says okay, that can also be done by yogic power, by bringing your Kaya Vyuha. So he says no, Ekena Vapsha, in one body only. Not by Kaya Vyuha form. So this was astonishing because Narada also is a yogi. So he also has yogic power. He also knows that yogis can expand, but they also have a limit. Like Sabri Muni made 50 forms. So more than that, generally not possible. So therefore he says, Griheshu dvayashta sahasram striya eka udabhat. That in 16,000 houses he married 16,000 queens, and he married them at the same time and in one form. So it was not that he was going from one house to next house to next house. Not like that. So this is the surprising thing. Ekena eva vapsa yugpad ekasmin eva kshane. So with one body, with one form, and in one time only, prithak prithak griheshu, in separate houses, prithak prithak prachiradi avritta dvayast sashram. Means it's not that there are 16,000 houses and then there is a common ceremony being done. It says they were all having their own boundary wall, and inside each house he was doing. So dvayast sahasra sankhya griha anganeshu. So in the courtyard of the 16,000 houses, he married Parinitvan Chitram Bataita. This is the most amazing thing. सौभर्यादयो ही कायुः कृत्वा एव युगपत् बहविभिः स्त्रीभिः रमन्ते स्मैन तु एकेनैव कायेनेति भावः. Saubhari also, he expanded himself into 50 Kayavyuha forms, and he was with his 50 wives, but he was not with one body, but 50 separate bodies. So this is the difference here. This is astonishing. Iti utsuko dvāravatim devarshi drashtumagamat pushpito pavanārama dvijali kulanāditam. So therefore he was very anxious, very eager to see this, and thus Devarshi Narada, he arrived in Dwaraka. And now in the next, I think 3.5 slokas, there is a description of Dwaraka city. So Dwaraka city, when he entered, there were nice gardens, flower gardens, fruit gardens, pleasure gardens, and very nice flowers were coming, fragrant flowers. Not like sometimes you see the forest, especially in Europe, America, only one type of tree. Here to there, just one type of tree, no variety. So that's not so much variety. And Dujali Kula Naditam. And there are a lot of birds. So in this forest where there are only one type of tree, you don't see much birds also, because there is no fruit coming also.
But that's northern Europe. That's
South, there is South Europe also.
yeah, Mediterranean is different.
Okay. So the Dvija Ali Kula Naditam. So there are Dvija means birds, and there are also Ali means here Brahmara, the bees. The bees and the birds, they are all singing. And now the various types of flowers which are being described there. Utfullindi varam bhoja kalhara kumudot palaihi Churitesu sarasuchai kujitam hamsa sarasahi. So there are blooming blue lotus flowers, and there are white lotus flowers, and there are red lotus flowers, and there are kumudas which come at night, and in the lakes, and then there were hamsa and sarasas, various types of swans. They were making sound in the lakes where all these flowers were growing. So Dvaravatim Varnayati Sardhatrayana, in 3.5 verses describe Dwarka city. Shruteshu Vyapteshu. So endowed with all these flowers, birds, trees, fruits. So that is the opulence of the city. Prasad lakshayirna bhirjustam spatikara rajataihi Mahamarkata prakhyai swarnaratna parichadaihi. And there were 900,000 palaces there in this city. So there were that many. And these palaces were all built with crystal floor, silver doors, and sapphire windows, and gems and gold studded in the walls. So this is how it appeared. And vibhakta rathya pathachatvara pranai shala sabhavir ruchiram suralayaihi samsikta marga ganaviti dehilim patat pataka dhvajavaritathapam. Then there were very nice roads, and then there were the crossroads, and there were marketplaces, assembly houses, and sitting places, and very beautiful temples. And the paths, they were sprinkled with fragrant water. There were bylanes, and there were entrances to the houses. And on the houses there were these canopies and patakas and festoons and coverings to protect from the sunlight. So these were all descriptions. Mahamarkatais chudavalbhyadi gatai prakhyai sobhayesham. So they were decorated by this sapphire, and the terraces Swarnratmaya Parichada Parikaraya. So the objects were made there from the gold and gems. And there is a Rajmarg, there is a royal highways were there, Panthano, other paths. And Patantiya Chalantya Pataka Yeshu Dhvajayi, there were flags above. So all this was seen. Tasyam antahapuram Śrīmad architam sarvadhishnayai Harehe svakoshalam yatra tvashtra kartsena darshitam. So inside the city, in the inner quarters, Krishna was there. He was being worshipped by the various Lokpalas. And Harehe svakoshalam yatra, you could see the expertise of Tvashtra. Tvashtra means Vishwakarma, the architect of the Devas. So he has designed the city and was built under his supervision. So he has given his best experience to build this. Tatra shodhasbhi sadma sahasrai samalankritam vivesha ekatamam shaure patni naam bhavnam mahat. So there were one palace for each queen. So 16,108 palaces were there, and they were all very beautifully decorated. So Narada, he entered in one of them, because he has to go one by one. So he first wandered, looked around, then he entered in one of them. Vivesha ekatamam shaure patni naam bhavnam mahat. So the palace of Hari's wife, in one of them, he entered, and nobody stopped him because he has a pass to enter anywhere. Not, no one stops him like the 4 Kumaras were stopped. So he was not stopped. Tasyam antapuram samankritam vartate. So the inner quarters were very beautifully decorated. Tatra antaha pure patninam ektamam bhavanam viveshayati anvaya. So he entered in one of the queen's inner palace. So even in inner quarters, nobody stopped him. This is the greatness of Narada Rishi. So now this is being described, the inner part. The other one was description in general of Dwarka. Now this is a description of the palace inside. Vishtabdham vidrumastambhair vedurya falkottamaihi indranīlamayai kudyair jagatya chahatatvisha. So this palace was supported by the coral pillars, and there were lapis lazuli terraces, and there were blue sapphire walls made from blue sapphire, and the floor was very shiny. So hat tvisha. And vitanir nirmitai tvashtra muktadame vilambibhi dantair asan paryankair maniuttam pariskritai. There were canopies which were made by Tvashtra or Vishnukarma from pearls, or pearls were hanging from these terraces, canopies, and the seats were made from the ivory, and Paryankair Mani Uttamam Pariskritai, and they were all decorated by nice cloth and beautiful gems. And Dasibhir Niskakantibhir Suvasobhir Alankritam Pumbhi Sankuchakoshnisur Vastramani Kundalai. And there were many maid servants there, all wearing the golden lockets, very beautiful dresses decorated nicely. And the men, they also had their shirt. Generally you don't see men being described with shirts, but here it says Sakunchaka Ushnisa, they had their turban, Suvastra Mani Kundalai, and they had nice earrings and necklaces in their necks. So all this is described about the men. Ratna Pradeepa Karadutibhir Nirastadhvantam Vichitravalbhisha Shikhandinonga Nityanti Yatra Vihita Gurudhupa Makshay Niryantamikshya Buddhaya Unnadanta. So he must have gone probably in the evening time, because it says that inside there were these lamps made from the gem which are illuminating light and dispelling the darkness. And there were very beautiful terraces on which there were peacocks. And these peacocks were dancing, jumping up and down and dancing. And why they were dancing? Because inside the palace they had lit the aguru incense. And because of that aguru incense, the smoke of this incense was coming out from the latticed windows. And when the smoke was coming out from that, the peacocks mistook it for the cloud. And they thought this is a cloud, and when peacocks see cloud, they start making sound and dancing. So that's what, so they saw this, and they saw that, oh, this is cloud, and they got confused. So Bhavanam Varnayati Chaturbhi, the 4 verses he is describing the palace. Vishtabdham Vidhritam. Vishtabdham means supported. Vedurya Mayani, Vedurya is lapis lazuli. Falkottamani Stambhashrayani. So Stambhashraya, support of the pillars which are made from the coral. Chadnani tair jagatya bhumikaya. And then the floor was also covered by the gems. And vihitam aguru dhumam akshair gavaksh marge nirgantam iksha viksha ghano emiti buddhari esham. So the guru, this incense was being burnt inside and it was coming out from the windows, and the peacocks, they saw it and mistook it for the cloud. Tasmin saman guna rupa vayas suvesha dasi sahasra yutyanusavam grihinya vipro dadarsha chamar vyajanena rukma dandena satvat patim parivijayantya. So Vipro Dadarsha. So Vipra here means Sri Narada. He saw that the wife, Grihini, she is performing the fanning, or she is fanning Bhagavan Satvatpati Sri Krishna with a fan which is Chamar Vyaj, this yak trail, and the handle is made from gold. And although she is being served herself by many maidservants who are of same quality, age, beauty and dress, thousands of them, Sahasrayutanam, Anusavam, they are continuously attending the queen, but see, the queen herself is fanning Krishna, not that she is giving the fan to them. Tasmin grihinya sahitam satvatam patim dadarsha. So Sri Narada Rishi, he saw Krishna along with his wife. Anusavam samuchitam pratisamayam. These maids, they are doing proper service as required at proper time. Tam sanniriksha bhagavan sayasothita sri paryankata sakal dharma bhritam varishtha anamya padayugalam sirsha kirita justena sanjali vivishada asanesvai. So when Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he saw Narada Rishi coming in, so immediately he got up from the bed, because he is the best who know dharma, or who follow the principle of dharma. He bowed down to the feet of Narada Rishi by his head, which was having a crown on the head, and with joining hands he made him sit down on his own seat. So he respected and he says, please have a seat here, and he stood there with joined palms, and then he bowed down to him by putting his head to the feet of Vyasa. So you see how Krishna is treating Sri Narada with so much respect. Avivishat upaveshyamas. Avivishat means made him sit down. Tasyavanijya charno tadapah swamurdhni bibhrad jagadgurutaropi satam patirhi brahmanya deveti yadgunanam yuktas tasyeva yacharna sochama shesha tirtham. And then he did something even more amazing, that he washed the feet of Narada Rishi with water, and then he took this water and put it on his own head. Although he is the Jagat Guru and he is the master of all the devotees, and therefore he lived to his name as Brahmanya Deva. Brahmanya Deva iti yad gunanam yukta. He says he is properly called Brahmanya Deva, means he is the worshipper of the Brahmanas. And although the foot wash of Krishna purifies everybody, and it is the topmost tirtha, the Ganga river, but he is washing the feet of Narada Rishi and taking it on his head. Tasya charnau avnijya prakshalya satampati prahayati utrena anvaya. So he washed his feet, the master, and spoke. Nanu swadasasya nardasya charan kshalnadikam anuchitam tatraha brahme deviti. If Narada says, or if someone raises a question that how is that he washed the feet of Narada, who is his servant and devotee, it is not proper. So then it says he is Brahmanya Deva. Yasya guna nama guna suchakam name tadyuktam. He says his name, Brahmanya Deva, is indicative of his quality and not just as a name. Like somebody is blind but he is called Padmalochan or lotus-eyed. So he is not like that. He is true to the name. Means his name actually carries the meaning. And tadyuktam, it is appropriate. Nardasya brahmanatvat tasya brahmanya devatvat etat sarvam uchitam evidyartha. Narada is a brahmana and he is a worshipper of Brahmana, therefore it was appropriate. Nachasa swapavitri karnarthameva idam chakara iti vachyam. Somebody can say, well, he did it because he wanted to purify himself. He says, no, that is not true. Why? Yati asmat tasyeva charna shaucham ganga shesh tirtha bhavati. That the water which comes from his feet is the topmost tirtha, that is the river Ganga. Nardastu daso api swaprabhor ichha pratikulye prabhutvam naveschakara iti gyayam. Although Narada is the servant of Krishna, but he did not want to go against the will of Bhagavan because he wanted to wash his feet. And at the same time, he did not act like if he is superior to Krishna. He accepted the respect and worship which was given to him by Krishna, but that did not mean that he started behaving like as if he is better than Krishna. He did not do that. And one more. Sampujya devarshir varyam rishi purano narayano narsakho vidhano ditena vanya vibhasya mitya bhitrimishtaya tam praha prabho bhagavate karvamahe kim. So after worshipping the best of the Devarshis, Sri Narada, the ancient rishi himself, who is called Narayana. Narayana also sages, and Krishna is Narayana. Narsakha is friend of Nara. So vidhina uditena. So with proper procedure, he worshipped Narada, and then with his words he praised him, briefed him in a very short words, and then he spoke to him that, O Prabhu, O Lord, what can I do to serve you? So this Krishna says to him, Uditena Shastroktena Vidhina Sampujya. So he worshipped according to the injunction of the Shastra. Tatra hetu rishi mantra pravartaka. Why is that? Because he himself is the rishi or the propagator of the mantras. Kincha Purana, moreover, he is Purana, means he is the oldest person. Swam Bhagavatvat Nava, and being Bhagavan is also new. So Purana means Pura api Nava. He is oldest and yet he is new and fresh. Khalu tadris dharma pravartana arthamatra bharat bhumo narsakho narayano bhavati ityartha. Indeed, to propagate this dharma, that how a grihastha should receive sadhu, a brahmana, a sage, he appeared here on Bharat Bhumi as Narayana, the friend of Narsakha. मितया परिमितया अमृतेन पिजुष्टया सेवतया param madhurya ityartha. And he spoke to him in a very sweet and concise words, which was just like nectar. He Prabho Vipratvena Smat Swamin. And then he is addressing him as Prabhu, because as Vipra, as a Brahmana, he is Prabhu of the Kshatriyas. So we'll stop here if there is any question on this. Otherwise we move to... Yes.
So I'm not sure if you explained it already, but I understand that Krishna worshipped Narada as the perfect, or as a high-class Brahmana, and now what I understand is Narada, he is the son of Brahma, isn't it? And therefore he is a Brahmana, but then also in his previous life he was the son of a Dasi.
Yeah.
Okay, so first he was the son of an ordinary servant, and thereafter he was produced by Brahma?
Yeah. Don't like that?
Okay. No, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, but I find it surprising that I thought earlier, that's why I'm asking, that Brahma, he produced bodies, he produced personalities before the Prajapatis were there. But apparently, in his case, he did it just in the middle of while the world was already running and going on, right?
No, it could be in the previous cycle. It could be at the end of the previous cycle, then the new cycle begins, then he's born from Brahma. What is the problem?
Acha, okay. I see. Good. So Brahmana here does it mean descendant of Brahma, or
both?
Okay, because in that sense everyone would be a Brahmana, right?
Why?
Because everyone, in the end of the day, we are all coming from Brahma.
Not at the beginning of day.
Okay, so he was at the beginning of the day, and we are at the end of the day. That's a good way.
At the end of day, many things can happen.
Did you say this architect built the...
Vishwakarma.
Vishwakarma. Okay. And
son of sage Twashta.
yeah, he built the Svargaloka also. And I am interested to read.
You want to hire him for your house?
Yeah, that would be amazing. Where can I read more about this architecture and
These days Google.
just Google? There is no separate books on it.
Yeah, there are books are there.
Okay.
There is a, what is the name? Manas something. I think I have in my library. There is in few volumes. I forget the name because I never read it. I have the book. Yeah, there are books are available.
If you have it, I can borrow it.
It's in Sanskrit.
Okay.
Okay, Haze. Is it Haze or how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Hayes.
Okay, Haze, please raise your question.
In the last chapter, verse 48, you said there's a difference between gone and come. When I think it was about the Kauravas surrendering to Balaram. You said, we have gone to your shelter and not come. I just want to know the difference between
Well,
gone.
generally you should say that they came to his surrender, isn't it? So, but its usage is like that. That's what I was pointing.
Okay.
You should say, I come to take your shelter, but generally the statement is, I go to take your shelter. It's just a usage. Even in Gita, I was saying, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So you'll say, come to my shelter, but Vraja means go to my shelter. Vraja does not mean come, it means go. So that's the usage.
Okay, thank you.
Babaji, regarding this Kaya Vyuha you mentioned, so if Krishna's Prakashas are not considered as Kaya Vyuha, but Shrabbara Munis is taken as Kaya Vyuha. So the question I have is, when Shrabbara Muni manifested some 50 or so bodies, it is all through one single mind, because he is conscious with one single mind. In the same context, we also hear that the Ashtasakis are also Kaya Vyuhas of Radharani, but they all have their own separate minds.
Yeah, but there the word Kaya Vyuha has some different meaning.
Okay.
Doesn't mean the same thing.
So, Kaya Vyuha would then just mean multiple
Kaya
bodies?
Vyuha yogis make so that they can
burn karma.
Burn their karma, and those bodies, they act similarly. They don't act independently.
But I also remember once during Bhakti Sandarbha you mentioned that he split his mind into like 50 parts or so, or made replicas, you could say. So, but still I am trying to figure out if everyone has a similar mind or it is just one Shrabbara Muni, he is experiencing multiple things.
Yeah, it is one Atma only.
No, Atma I am fine. In the Ahankara of the mind, so is it just one Ahankara that is experiencing?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is not getting split.
Okay. So Bhatti Kavya.